bossy. Hello and welcome to the award-winning Ardent Atheist, where reason reigns supreme, not frogs and fish. Today's episode brought to you by billions of years of evolution. Sitting next to me is my co-host Heather Henderson.
Hi, everybody.
You know Heather from the Facebooks, on the Intertubes, and from our other hit vodcast, Skeptically Yours. You can find links to our guests' website, join our Twitter and Facebook feeds, subscribe to our premium ad-free 90-minute full-length episodes, and our email at ardentatheist.com.
If you'd like to take part in the live chat moderated by the author of the well-known blog, Hit and Miss, Joe Swam, go to ardentatheist.com/live and chat us up right now.
And please go to iTunes, subscribe to our podcast for free, write a review, help us out. You may also go to Ustream, subscribe to our vodcast as well. You can go to ardentatheist.com/premium and subscribe to our premium ad-free content for a measly $10 per year.
No need to subscribe.
Why would you say that?
Because everyone has already subscribed.
Sadly, that's not true.
You can't prove it's not true.
Well, actually, I can prove it's not true.
No, you can't. You can't just prove a negative.
Cole, are you subscribed to our premium content?
Not technically.
Okay, there you go.
Free subscription on me, Cole. Everyone subscribed now.
You're a jerk.
You can't prove that.
I don't need to.
Why, I oughta. We only have 2 rules on the show. Rule number 1, guests may plug anything they want. We're not hypocrites. Go subscribe for real this time.
Hypocrites?
No, we're not hypocrites.
And rule number 2, if you're a listener who's ever been offended by anything, get a sledgehammer and destroy your computer now. This show has no restrictions on language or content and certainly has nothing for you evolution-denying, unapologetic apologists. We're coming to you live from the second floor of the fabulous John Lovitz Comedy Club on the GoCast Network, high atop the hill of Universal City Walk in sunny Universal City, California. In the Universal City tonight, we have Steve Cole Parker, Shelley Segal,
Steve Hill.
and Matt Kirshen is with us.
Steve Hill. You said Steve Cole.
Why did I say Steve Cole?
Because Cole Parker was the next word.
Okay, start over. Here we go. Just kidding. Steve Parker. Oh, I'm sorry. I stole Amanda's straw at the top of the show. Thank you for being here, Mr. Cole. Steve Hill, ladies and gentlemen, is with the show. I met you last night.
Of course.
At Shelley's show.
Of course.
And I haven't bumped into you on the comedy circuit, seeing you do comedy, but I did see you at Flappers via my electronic fancy device.
And what'd you think?
I think you're a funny motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay.
You look nervous.
Let's get the mother in here. Yeah. No, I'm cool, man. I'm just happy to be here, man. Just happy to be here.
And an outspoken atheist.
Outspoken, proud.
African-American descent, I presume.
Better known as the king of consciousness. I perform comedy for 47%. from a proud atheist perspective.
All right. An unusual animal in the atheist world is the outspoken black atheist.
Yeah, it's kind of
Or Blatheist.
Blatheist.
Yeah. Kind of like a African American Klan member. You don't see too many of those.
I've only seen one on Chappelle's show.
Yeah.
Herman Cain threw his hat in the ring.
What shape was that
hat?
When we started the show, Amanda had run out and picked up some coffee drinks for Heather and myself, and she came back with Heather's favorite sweetener, Equal. And while we're doing an atheist show here, we also do Skeptically Yours, and we talk about skeptical topics. And you were talking about, how do you pronounce it?
Is it aspartame? Is that how you
That's
say it?
probably how you say it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that the right way to say it? Aspartame is how we dumb Americans say
And
it.
how do you say aluminium?
We fucking
Yeah, yeah.
I know, right? Well,
Yeah,
there's no
that's
I in it.
Aluminum.
It's aluminium.
There is an I in aluminium. There is.
It's aluminum.
Really?
Yeah,
Is
that's
it?
how we say it.
Sorry, my English is appalling. Do continue.
My English is appalling. What
It's all right. We all
He was talking about me.
we all speak Ebonics.
You're being very rude to our English guest.
You're the only American guest here. How does it feel?
I'm American. Why you say
Guest.
Guest.
He's
right.
visiting.
Damn it.
It feels kind of awkward, I guess, since you put it that way. I
We have a lot of accents
hadn't
on
really
the show.
noticed it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from St. Louis,
Aha.
St. Louis, Missouri.
GMO,
By way of.
by way of Palmdale, California.
All right.
You say we have a lot of accents on the show, but I'm fully aware to most American ears, mine, Cole's, and Shelley's are identical.
I don't think you're right, mate.
Yeah. Did you do that on purpose, or is that really how you would?
In a sort of like
Yeah, you got a little bit of the.
second. I can do that. He can't.
Yeah. Why don't
So-
you posh back up a little bit?
I can posh up if you want me
There
to.
we are.
Yes, it's crazy.
Nice, nice. See, that was a very specific range that I think Americans can't hear.
Should we decide now on a dialect so people don't get confused? Are you British as well?
Australian.
Australia. Oh, there you go. Aussie,
All the same to me. I'm black.
Well, do you know, obviously, do you ever get mistaken for a London accent?
Yeah, all the time.
Because they always think we're Australian. And do you know why that is? It's because the Australian accent, it was Cockneys, Londoners in the sun. They were transported. It was mainly Londoners when they colonised Australia to start with. And so they sent everybody over with this accent. And they, if those that survive the journey, they'll get off the boat and all of a sudden they're exposed to 110-degree heat and 17 hours of sunlight a day. So they're just squinting in the sun and just the whole intensity of it just kind of pulled their face up. So the London accent kind of sort of started going up like that, Oh, what? And that's how you kind of talk like you do now because of that. If you put an Aussie in the dark for enough time, they'll start talking like a Cockney again. It's fact.
So now I understand Japanese people better.
I went back to England. 18 hours of dark a day.
That took a minute.
That was bad host.
You went back to the UK?
I lived in London for a year, and so that's 18 hours of darkness a day, and I didn't get my Pommy accent back.
Ah,
And of course, Pommy stands for Prisoner of Mother England, doesn't it?
that's what it
I
means.
didn't even know that.
Apparently
I've
so,
just
yes,
been
it's an
throwing
acronym.
that around.
Yeah.
You have an epithet you don't even understand the origins of?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Bad.
Prisoner of our country.
Cracker's one that people don't understand the origins of.
Yeah, what is that?
Do you know the origins of it?
I have no clue, but
Yeah.
I'm
I
here to
think
be
Heather knows
enlightened.
it. Heather knows it.
I thought it was like
let
a
us-
whip.
And I think I've told Matt before, or you knew
Yeah,
it.
I know
probably.
it.
Come on, tell us.
It's
Tell us.
because the white men used to crack the whip.
So they're crackers.
They're
Yeah,
crackers.
Okay.
whip crackers.
So it
Yeah.
don't have nothing to do with a hot bowl of soup.
Nothing to do
Nope.
with the white cracker. Nothing to do with the skin color matching the saltine.
Yes.
It's-
No Ritz
You know, Chris
crackers.
Rock say cracker, cracker, cracker all the time. I couldn't figure out why do you call them white people crackers?
Yeah.
Because they're the ones. They
They're
crack
They
the
taste
whip.
crack,
delicious
they
with
crack
cheese.
the whip.
They what?
They taste delicious with cheese.
See, now I know what it means. Now it feels offensive because
It's
it
much
suggests
more.
that all
Very
white people
offensive.
had a part in it and also agree with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good heavens above, this is awkward.
Right?
Wow. Take it. Take it.
Take it,
Take it,
bitch.
you cracker.
So let's clear it up now. Believers, I think, is everyone here an atheist?
Yeah, but I think we had this chat before that I don't know if Matt will agree with this, but I think atheism in the UK means something different to what it means over here.
Okay.
So from what I can understand, atheism in America, I mean, it's the same as nihilism or nihilism. It's you don't believe in anything. Whereas I think in our country, atheism also meant, you don't believe in the major religions, but you still sort of like feel a connective and collective consciousness. There is some kind of spirituality there. Love can be believed and, to be proven.
Okay,
almost.
so American version nihilist is
Well, it's not a version. It's just your interpretation of the word atheism, meaning.
Let me
that-
feel
the
that.
public,
Let
like
me-
what the public thinks more.
Let me
like.
field that directly. That's bullocks, mate.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. I don't think that's.
Okay, because every time I've told people I'm an atheist in America, they seem to recoil in horror and say, "Well, you don't believe in anything."
No,
Yeah.
what,
Yeah.
that,
Well, that's just them.
that is American Christian interpretation of what we are, not what we are. You know what I
Sure.
mean?
But Steve just acquiesced that. So what's your take on that?
My take on it is
Yeah.
that I believe there is no superior being. I think
Okay.
we're pretty much here alone.
Sure.
But you believe in other things.
I'm like Ray Parker Jr. I'm not afraid of no ghosts.
right.
There was
Well,
a
that's-
time
that's
when
what
the
it is
cracker
to me.
was a superior being, but only by virtue of the cracking.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Now, just to be
when
clear,
you're giving out free boat rides to America. I guess you have some kind of power.
What were you going to say?
well, I don't know whether Ray Parker Jr. was genuinely not afraid of ghosts or whether he just found, he was writing to a remit.
Actually, he wasn't doing either because he was sued for stealing. Well, I suppose he wrote the lyrics, but the tune was nicked apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I recall this.
I don't know this story.
Yeah. Ray
Wow.
Parker.
Ray
Jr.,
Parker.
Yeah.
Ripping
yeah.
off tunes.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think he
Perpetuates the stereotype,
I think he
brother.
added the Shakespearean standard dialogue to it,
Right.
lyrics, but yeah, the tune wasn't his.
I'll be damned.
Cheeky
That's
motherfucker.
why he's all over the airwaves today.
So in a way, he was a ghostwriter.
Wow, that was a
And the circle is complete.
That was a great way to go for that. So I came across a website today that that breaks down 10 and responds to 10 of what they termed their favorite.
Creationist arguments.
Yeah, creationist arguments. And what I
Top
like
10.
Top 10. Right. Should we go backwards? Should we do 10 to 1?
If you wanna.
I don't know.
Yeah. Countdown.
Keep it
Right?
10,
suspense.
9, 8. Yeah.
All right. We're going to go backwards. And what I loved about this is just the beauty and the simplicity of it. Now, I have friends in the atheist community who kind of get irritated by those who tell others how to argue this position, the atheist position. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't share that disdain at all. I don't think it's helpful to attack people who aren't as smart as other people and kind of they want to figure out what the good arguments are. Therefore, we have kind of a community and we have a way of informing others
Do
on
you
what
think
what
that's
makes
not
sense.
as smart or just uninformed?
Uninformed, I suppose. Listen, I don't feel as smart as Hitchens by any stretch. I'm not, obviously, by any
You are
measure.
now.
I am now. Fuck off! I got Hitchens beat finally. All I had to do was wait for cancer. I got to give up the hookah.
How is she?
See, that's the problem with accents. So anyway, this countdown was really great. We will go from 10 to 1. It's backwards to how they presented it on the website. We'll figure out where this website is and make sure that we thank them for all of this information. But here's number 10 first of all.
And finally, number 10, our favorite. Adolf Hitler was an atheist.
Okay, that's we've all dealt with this, I presume, right?
I think that's number one. I've heard that so much. It's like the
Wow.
most common.
Right.
And Stalin and all the deaths in the name of atheism.
Yeah. Pol Pot, which I honestly don't know anything about, and I have yet to take the time to go look up Pol
It's a
Pot.
great name.
Oh, what an awesome name.
Yeah.
Sounds like some sort of nettle teapot or something.
Sounds delicious.
The Nettie.
The netty teapot.
Yeah.
What do you know about Pol Pot? Matt, anything?
I know he killed a lot of people.
That's all I know for sure.
Yeah, started the Khmer Rouge. He restarted history as year 0 or year 1 in, I'm not sure what year of the 70s. I've been to Cambodia actually, and they're still clearing mines out.
Yeah.
Really?
And they're still
Wow.
finding people who are being discovered who think the world's only what would it be, I don't know, nearly 40 years old and stuff.
Well, what Hitchens said about Pol Pot, and this applies to a lot of these claims, is that they are the deity. They're the ones. They're not atheists. They put themselves into
the God position.
and then their subjects worship them, and that is, and they have faith. Kim Jong-il is one of the best examples of that. He claimed that doves sang on the day he was born, and actually sang in, oddly, North Korean language, whichever that would be Korea. And that he got, now I love this one, was it 11? I think it was 11 holes in one the first time he played golf.
Yeah, I heard that one.
11?
Yeah.
Why would you pick 11?
Why would that even
Well,
be a
because if you
thing?
said 21, it would be unbelievable.
Well, I think 18 is a whole game.
And
But
guess who was his
Well-
caddy?
who was his dad?
Go on.
Caddy.
The caddy?
Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Did you see the picture of them together?
No.
Yeah, they were hanging out like buds.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Dennis Rodman went
They
on
hung
a,
together?
Dennis Rodman went on what he claimed was a sort of a
Spiritual.
ambassadorial diplomatic mission.
Dennis Rodman went over to try and.
Of all
He
people.
was, he was
Yeah.
hanging out. They
No
were
wonder
hanging
they
out.
want to kill us.
Was it
Yeah.
Bill Maher who was joking that he thought it was Obama?
Oh, really? Oh, that's wonderful. When did that happen? I don't watch news.
That was
a
about
couple
3
of
weeks
years
ago.
ago,
Yeah.
3
Was it
weeks
that
ago.
close? No.
It was within a month.
Oh,
This
you mean,
is about when
you
it
mean the
catches up
sun?
to me.
When he went over.
Oh, you mean the
When Dennis
yeah.
went over. And
He went to
Okay.
meet with the son because the
Yeah,
dad's
Kim
dead and it
Jong-un.
was 3
his
weeks.
dad, his dad is
Who's
pretty
the-
dead. You're going to meet with him.
Who's the son?
Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un.
I
I put Dennis Rodman in Google and it just goes straight to North Korea.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, nonstop.
Really?
It's amazing.
I wonder how sheepish he'll feel when the atom bombs start dropping, man.
Right.
Dennis, want a
If
drink?
he's still there, he'll be all right.
Yeah.
So what do you say, Steve, when people talk about? Have you ever dealt with that? That Hitler was an atheist?
I've dealt with it all. I mean, that's what they use to demonize the word.
There's a good answer to that, though, and that's that he wasn't.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, he's just...
Right. It's just more demonization. I mean, that's what they do. Attach atheists to like the worst motherfucker ever on the planet.
Well, there's a common thread in most of these apologists' arguments, and that is ignorance of the facts.
Correct.
And it's just rhetoric that they've. My mom has accidentally regurgitated rhetoric
I was
before.
going to say, they just regurgitate something they hear
That's it. They just
without
Yeah.
looking it up. Or
They don't
just
go
adding up.
Google anything.
Yeah,
They
it
don't
doesn't
go-
require any research or nothing like
but
that.
Forget
to be
that
so,
he was
even if it was
supported
true.
by the church. as
I'm
well.
sorry?
He was supported by the church.
Catholic
Oh, by the
Church.
Catholic Church.
Yeah,
He was
right,
in alignment
right.
with them, right?
But the thing is, even if it was true, which we for a start, how the hell will they ever know what's going on in his private thoughts? But even if it was true, he was also a vegetarian. Does it mean that all vegetarians? are
That
also
one's
evil?
that one's also not
Yeah.
entirely true.
It's not true either.
That's not true. Well,
No.
so do I mean, it doesn't matter
That-
what he was or what he,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
it's got no relevance.
He was a watercolor
He-
painter.
He had a moustache.
Yeah, he was.
Which is
Anyone
what-
with moustaches.
Or evil.
That's true.
Well,
Charlie
no, it's a
Chaplin.
special kind of moustache.
Yeah.
When he ripped it off Charlie
had a-
Chaplin to try and give himself a softer side.
Is that what he was doing?
I thought it was more like a Mo from the Three Stooges.
Well, here's an explanation.
Well, actually, Hitler was raised Roman Catholic. In Mein Kampf, Hitler speaks of the creator of the universe and says the Aryan race was created by God. His religious views, or lack of them, remain in dispute. But using the name of history's greatest tyrant isn't an argument. It's a provocation that has nothing to do with the concept of evolution or creation. Invoking Hitler is a hot button designed to distract people from the true evidence that God only exists in the imagination of man.
So, obviously, you know what they didn't mention here is the whole on the belt buckle. It says "Mit Gott uns," God with us.
Mittens.
No. She always goes to a cat. No, God with us. That's what it means. All of the SS guys here. Listen,
Is that like just because his crotch sneezed? Is that a thing?
yes. The Nazis believed that when you sneezed from your penis,
Yeah.
that
Gottmittens. You say that, otherwise it's bad luck.
not bad luck, but that evil spirits could enter your penis.
All right.
Well,
That
they
was-
did,
and
in
then-
a way, didn't they?
Yeah, if the rumors is to be
They
believed.
shot right up there.
Well, I think they were leaving. Actually, the evils. What's that?
No, I think didn't he have some evil spirits in his penis that at the time wasn't treatable because they didn't have the antibiotics? I thought
I don't know if that's a fact. Is that a fact? I
I
don't know
thought
that.
there was some argument that he had
Can
a
you
bit of
get
syphilis in there.
antibiotics for having a ghost down your cock then? Can they treat that now?
They can, yeah.
Really?
But yeah,
where
thanks
he-
to Alexander Fleming and
He
his team.
slimed me. Back to Ghostbusters, see? There you go.
It seems like a great time to take a break. You're listening to Ardent Atheist on the GoCast Network, ardentatheist.com, and available at the iTunes Store. More after this unavoidable interruption.
We've had a lot of people ask us about the comedy sketch clips that we play from the Vile comedy album Chaos Radio, so we are making it available to you. You can buy your favorite track from the 23-track record individually for $1, or you can buy the entire recording for $18. Go to gumroad.com/Emery. That's GUM as in multiplex. ROAD.com/Emery and get a slice of comedy that should never have been made, let alone sold to living human beings. I always say murder.
I know. What's that about?
I don't know.
If you sit around and listen to these upcoming commercials, that's 2 minutes of your life you'll never get back. At least go rub one out.
do it.
You're listening to the GoCast Network.
Foundation Beyond Belief is a community of compassionate humanists and atheists supporting outstanding charities worldwide. Members sign up for automatic donations starting at $5 a month, then distribute those funds however they wish among the featured charities. To date, this unique humanist organization has raised over $750,000 to make this world a better, more humane place. We don't look to the skies for a better world. Foundation Beyond Belief is humanity at work. Learn more or join us at foundationbeyondbelief.org.
Hey, this is Carlos Alazraqui
and Vince Don Vito from the Facebook Wars.
You gotta go listen to the Facebook Wars if you want to hear the right, correct perspective from the left. Carlos Alazraqui, the truth. Unlike my friend Vince.
Listen to the two guys be unreasonably reasonable.
Fight on Facebook. Bring it to us. We'll talk about how you fight, why you fight. What are you doing on Facebook fighting with people? We love it.
Let's kiss and make up.
Fight.
Hey guys, this is Danny Trejo, and when I'm in Huntington Beach, I go to my favorite restaurant, the Second Floor. The Second Floor has my favorite food, and man, you have to see their colossal burger. you need a damn machete just to cut them. And they were just voted the best fusion art restaurant. Tattoo art from some of the biggest names like Jack Rudy and Rick Walters. Every Thursday night, art shows featuring legends to local artists come in, and you can meet them in person. You can buy the art right off the walls, and all sales go right to the artist. After 10 p.m. Thursday through Saturday, well-known DJs spinning an eclectic mix of music, and you gotta check out their late-night menu. Go visit them on the web, check out their great menu, upcoming art shows, and your favorite DJ. Located at 126 Main Street, downtown Huntington Beach. Second floor. I'll see you there.
We're back on the GoCast Network.
And now back to Ardent Atheist Nonsense You Can Believe In. We're talking with Steve Hill, Cole Parker, Shelley Segal, and Matt Kirshen. Who you chatting with, Matt?
Just texting a friend back.
All right, let's go to...
just staying in touch.
Let's go to number 9. First of all, number 9 is... it's one of the most confusing for people to argue. When you have someone throw this at you, most people don't even understand the basics of thermodynamics.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's not uncommon to make the... When I was a Christian, one of the things I said, and this is on our list as well, one of the things I said was, if we evolved from apes, why are there still apes? You know what I mean? And the reason... I know, right? Stop it. I'm embarrassed. I'm all right.
Because some more apes evolved from frogs or something while we were evolving from apes, right? That's what's...
It doesn't follow the same linear timeline. Yeah.
The problem was I didn't understand divergent.
You should be asking why there's no more primordial soup.
There's the response. That's really great.
9.
All right, here's
the
9.
second law of thermodynamics. We love this argument because it is thrown out so flippantly and with so little understanding. In a nutshell, the second law of thermodynamics says that systems must become more disordered over time. So, complex living cells and organisms couldn't have come out of basic inanimate chemicals. In other words, more time means more chaos. What creationists fail to mention is that this law only works in a closed system where no energy or matter leaves or enters. The Earth is not a closed system. It receives outside heat and light from our sun's nuclear fusion, fueling simple organisms so that they can become more complex by consuming other forms of life and non-living materials. Here's an easy way to frustrate this argument when a Christian brings up the second law of thermodynamics. Ask him what the other laws are. When he shrugs and stares into space, you'll know how truly informed he is on the subject.
So that's a tough one to talk about when you have someone spewing it at you. What you'll find out is, like me, people don't really even know what they're talking about. They've gotten this armchair explanation of what the second law is about.
Again, they're just spewing
regurgitation.
It from, regurgitating.
It's regurgitation. But if you're listening to this show and you're an atheist and you do have these arguments with people, please go to Wikipedia and look up the 4 laws of thermodynamics.
What is interesting, by the way, is those people who make those arguments, the people who make the thermodynamics argument, firstly, they get it wrong. They forget the fact that it's within a closed system, but that's the mistake they make. But the people who use that argument to argue against evolution have no faith in the concept of evolution, but are entirely happy to assume that the law of thermodynamics is completely correct.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this law is 100% accurate because the scientists told us. However, because of that, this other law is bullshit.
I'm always amazed when the intelligent design jagoffs will reach into the science bag to bolster their argument.
Yeah. They love studies, showing studies
that affect them and their argument.
Right. They use what will work and then they discard what will not. That's what's going on.
Or logic. They'll say, like, well, logically. It's like, why are you even bothering to use logic?
The word logic.
Well, it's very simple to shut down that kind of argument then. It's just, we cannot have this conversation because you do not possess the facts or the wit to carry it out. So therefore, it's
they're saying,
where it starts.
They're saying in the video, ask them about the other 3. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. I looked it up tonight. This is the first time that I've actually looked into this deeply into the laws of thermodynamics. I have read about the laws of thermodynamics before, and I had a basic understanding and understood why it didn't make sense.
First one's if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. What's just happened here is on this show is Matt has just discovered the fifth law of thermodynamics. So this is really interesting. Now, this will help you just kind of embarrass the people who are using this argument. This is what you should always say.
Second law, I need some hot stuff.
Can you?
baby.
No, thank you. Can you tell me anything about the other three? And like the video said, they'll stare into space. But then you should fill them in. Ask them what the last law of thermodynamics is. This is the easiest thing to do and remember. Can you tell me the name of the last law of thermodynamics? Now, you cited the second law of thermodynamics, which is its name. What is the last one?
Is it the uncertainty probability?
No, it's the third law of thermodynamics.
Okay,
that's the correct answer to this trick question.
Because I thought the third law was the chaos theory, and I didn't know what the second law was.
Here's why you're confused, and I'll explain it. When you ask them what the last law is, what the name of the last law is, you know the second one.
You're smiling over here. You know the answer.
You know the other one.
No.
Do you know the answer?
No, I'm waiting to see how he's going to get to the...
Because what they're citing in the order of the thermodynamic laws. The second one is the third one. The first one is the 0th one. They don't even have a fourth one in terms of naming nomenclature.
Okay.
Here's why. 1, 2, and 3 had been discovered long before the 0th one was figured out. And when they figured that out, rather than call it fourth, because it is the fundamental law, it is the one on which all of the others lie and rely, that one was moved to its proper position and called 0th, so they didn't have to change everything. So if you don't know that much about the laws of thermodynamics, then you shouldn't be fucking citing them. You know what I mean?
Right, and I got a question.
Okay.
Why are you arguing with religious people?
Thank you.
We argue with religious people for the...
That's a fair question.
You should be giving them a hug.
It's like trying to explain the color red to a blind man.
No, it's not. It's not. And I mean, if these people are citing these things, it means that they do value them, unless they're being disingenuous.
That's
and
right.
if they do value science, that's something that you can use to communicate with them. I used to be religious.
I used to be religious.
You know, half the people in the atheist movement that are like trying to make change at the moment in this country have used to be religious, so it's worth having a conversation with them.
Well, here's a sad
My whole
truth.
family were religious. Now they're atheists.
You know what never happened to me? No one ever said, do you know anything about divergent evolutionary processes? When I said that, why are there still apes? No one ever said, it's a simple thing to say. No one ever explained it to me. You know why? I lived in a sea of people who didn't understand that. They didn't know.
Because they're still part of the food chain.
Well, you fucking Brits are well educated. I grew up
Not
in the
necessarily.
Midwest.
No. There's a great story I heard. I don't know whether I should name the comic in question.
Of course you should.
Okay, it was Barry Dodds, who's a constant source of joy.
Oh, Jesus, Dodds, that motherfucker.
But
I don't know.
Geordie lives in Manchester.
Bethany Black was telling us about a story of they were in a bar and there was a girl there who had her arm in a cast, and he was explaining how men will find that attractive, and he was like, she was like, what? It was like, well, men will find that attractive. The girl has an arm in a cast because it shows weakness, and it comes back to our, it comes back to evolution, back from when we were lions. And she was like, "What? I'm going to stop you there." No, because back when we were lions, we would prey on the weakest. She went, "We were what?" It turns out he basically believed evolution was a straight line.
Everything evolved.
Every animal is on there somewhere back. Like, if you go back far enough.
Do you know what? I thought you were going to
like
say
embryos.
because she's wearing a cast, if you get drunk and rapey, she can't fight you off. I really thought you were going to take that route. But
No.
The lions blindsided me.
Well, the reason why I talk to
You can imagine him say that.
The reason why I debate religious people is because there's always that person on the sidelines who's on the fence watching, and you might be able to reach them.
Right.
Reach them?
Yeah, sure. It's happened.
It's happening.
Yeah.
How many African Americans have you debated?
Depends what you call a
Probably
debate.
quite a few on Facebook.
She does.
No, face to face. I like to do it face to face because I like to see the facial expressions of them trying to explain slavery.
I've debated with
Oh,
some
wow.
Mexicans. Does that count?
Like,
Well, now, wait a minute. Slavery in the Bible is not the same as slavery that your ancestors suffered. I just want to say that very clearly.
America did it a new way?
Yeah, we did. Did you not know that? You're listening to Ardent Atheist on the GoCast Network, ardentatheist.com, and available at the iTunes Store. More after this insufferable disruption.
Good news, everyone.
We have a premium ad-free service. We already give you a free hour of entertainment, but the premium service will allow you to subscribe to the full 90-minute show. It's only $10 per year. We also have another option, that's the pay more if you want button. If you can give us more money, if you can afford to, we will give away some subscriptions to the needy. In fact, we are currently at a surplus technically where that's concerned. We had a very large donation. Thank you very much for that, Aubrey. So be generous if you can afford it. Support the show. If you cannot afford it, send me an email and let me know. We'll give you a subscription for a year. So please go to ardentatheist.com/premium and subscribe. The average woman can reach orgasm in about 4 minutes through masturbation. Sorry, ladies, you've only got 2 minutes.
Oh, shit.
Go now.
You're listening to the GoCast Network.
Hey guys, this is Danny Trejo, and when I'm in Huntington Beach, I go to my favorite restaurant, the second floor. The second floor has my favorite food, and man, you have to see their colossal burgers. You need a damn machete just to cut them. And they were just voted the best fusion art restaurant. Tattoo art from some of the biggest names like Jack Rudy and Rick Walters. Every Thursday night, art shows featuring legends to local artists come in, and you can meet them in person. You can buy the art right off the walls, and all sales go right to the artist. After 10 p.m. Thursday through Saturday, well-known DJs spinning an eclectic mix of music, and you've got to check out their late-night menu. Go visit them on the web, check out their great menu, upcoming art shows, and your favorite DJ. Located at 126 Main Street, downtown Huntington Beach. Second floor. I'll see you there.
Foundation Beyond Belief is a community of compassionate humanists and atheists supporting outstanding charities worldwide. Members sign up for automatic donations starting at $5 a month, then distribute those funds however they wish among the featured charities. To date, this unique humanist organization has raised over $750,000 to make this world a better, more humane place. We don't look to the skies for a better world. Foundation Beyond Belief is humanity at work. Learn more or join us at foundationbeyondbelief.org.
Hi, this is Tom Dreesen, and I started out in show business with a comedy team. It was called Tim and Tom. I thought we were the funniest twosome that ever lived, and then I met Dick and Darren. I'm convinced we were the funniest twosome that ever lived.
We're back on the GoCast Network.
And now back to Ardent Atheist, nonsense you can believe in. We're talking with Steve Hill, Cole Parker, Shelley Segal, and Matt Kirshen. Join the show for us. Thanks for being here, Matt.
You're welcome.
Where's everybody else as well. So, what we were getting at when we were just leaving, right? He oftentimes when we were doing the show out of the house, just so you know, Steve, he would just walk in a towel, enjoy the show, and fuck around. It was really funny.
I'd get changed into his house specially. I feel funnier in that state.
But Heather, you've had people argue this one with you on the wall all the time, or on your Facebook. The whole slavery's not the same in the Bible as it is.
As it was, yeah. And no matter what you say, it's just like they don't get it.
Do that? I think they do that to divert the attention off, okay, let's not compare it to what it is or the interpretation of what it was in the Bible. Let's compare it to that good old American slavery. We got historic records of this shit.
Yeah.
And some things that'll never be known because it's not documented. I mean, you're not going to document it if you're raping women and children and all that bullshit.
Well, you have not seen my shrine.
Well, in keeping with that, going to topic number 8, I think it's it's one of my favorites on the list, to be sure. It just proves how little Christians care about facts and reality. Here we go.
Number 8. America was founded as a Christian nation. Actually, the U.S. Constitution never mentions God, and the mention of religion in Article 6 and the First Amendment serve to separate religion from government altogether. The words "In God We Trust" weren't printed on American coins until 1863, after a religious surge during the Civil War. Paper money didn't have it until 1957. The words "under God" weren't even in the original Pledge of Allegiance. They were added by Congress in 1954. And many of our founding fathers were either deist or ambivalent about the Christian God, including Thomas Jefferson.
There you go.
Benjamin Franklin.
That guy.
James Madison. John Adams.
Who's that?
Thomas Paine. And even George Washington.
Bag. So, until watching this, I didn't realize that George Washington was a non-believer.
Was he? What does it say?
They said ambivalent.
Ambivalent. Is that what they said? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
One of the list.
Right. Yeah. And I know that, Thomas Jefferson was at the bare minimum a deist. In other words, someone who believed that the world, or rather the universe, was put into play, but he's not looking at all the life forms in it. You know what I mean? Or gives a shit about us.
Right.
So at the bare minimum.
But how do we really know what these people think? Any politician in
I
Washington,
see.
D.C. right now.
I see. Yeah.
I think Barack is an atheist. I think he's too.
Aha!
I think he's too. I think he's actually too intelligent.
Well,
to think realistically.
Listen,
and
here's the problem with that. That if that were true, it would really lower my opinion of him dramatically.
Because he lied.
Yeah,
because he lied.
Because he's lying.
But come
so
on. How many politicians lie?
Well, I guess being black and atheist, he's not going to get elected. I suppose that's a good argument.
I'm pretty
too.
sure he was I'm pretty sure his coming to the decision to be in support of gay marriage in the last year was actually just an announcement, and I'm pretty sure he hid his support of gay marriage for 4 years.
He hid it?
You think so?
I'm sure he
Yeah.
did.
Well,
I'm sure he did.
Wait,
He
he was in the closet?
never would have got elected by the African American community.
Oh no, African Americans
It would not have been 93%.
African Americans were part of the reason that
Proposition
Prop
8
8 passed here.
in the Supreme Court right now,
Which is
and
going
guess what?
down.
We're gonna go down, and I have to be a part of this shit
Yeah.
because I'm black.
Yeah.
My family's black.
What?
I grew up around black people, but think about it. To go down in history of damn near passing a law that has to go to the Supreme Court and get overturned.
Yeah.
Come on, that's like dropping the last pop fly in the 7th game of a World Series.
What's a World
Nobody gonna
Series?
forget that shit.
Oh, baseball.
That's baseball. I'm black, so I got to make a basketball analogy. All right, let me give you one. let me give you one.
Yeah.
Black people that are out there worshiping the same God of the people that captured him.
Yeah. I'm with you on this one, brother.
You're making baskets for the other fucking team.
Bingo. Oh, nicely put.
I did that once in school.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
That's how bad I
Who
was
are you
at sports.
high-fiving there?
Well, you have to make baskets.
I was
Lovett.
weaving. No, I was sufficiently bad at sports that at school I managed to score an own basket.
Anyway,
no.
we was having a grown-up debate over
I
here.
did that.
Consider yourself black for a few minutes.
I think you need to go get laid right now, man.
I'm the first person who's ever been considered black for being bad at basketball.
It's not for that, Matt.
So it's not a Christian nation. It's never been a Christian nation. It's never going to be a Christian nation, in my opinion. People like to call it a Christian nation today. It is not a Christian nation, and none of us should accept that kind of bullshit, that kind of lie, that kind of rhetoric. Stop succumbing to it. I made the mistake of saying it myself. I don't care if there are 80% people who first of all, that's a shrinking number, by the way. This 80+%, it's totally taking a dive.
It's plummeting quickly.
And I don't think that's because. I don't think it's because we're getting more atheists. I really don't.
People are getting smarter.
I think people are getting smarter.
I think they're
Access to
becoming more
information.
informed,
The
and they're
species is getting more intelligent.
and they're more comfortable to be
sharing
counted.
information.
Being counted was a frightful thing in the 50s and the 40s and the 30s. And in the 60s, nobody was really talking that much about religion. But by the time the 70s rolled around and it started turning, and people started being able to actually, which I love this, speak freely in the home of the free. What the fuck?
Well, I think there's also less of a case now that people will just consider themselves said a certain religion, particularly Christianity, by default, which there was a lot more of until recent years. About 2 years ago in the UK, there was we had the census come around again, and there was
Census.
yeah.
Okay.
And there was a big campaign by atheist groups to let people know that if you are not religious anymore, to put no religion rather than the sort of default. I guess I'm. Yeah, because so many people like at school, like they went to, would consider themselves Christian just because their family's kind of Christian, or Jewish in my case, because like it would be very easy for me to put Jewish on the form. But I put no religion because that's my belief rather than my cultural identity.
But then the rabbinical council can claim your
census,
your identity,
and that
they represent you
They
politically.
can do that. They can on your behalf, without even knowing, without your say so, they can just claim you're one of them.
No, but it's also when they look at the census numbers, I think, which is what Shelley was getting at, when they look at the census numbers to see how many of each religious group there is. But no, when the results get published, certain rights are afforded to certain groups depending on how many of them there are.
Right.
So they'll be like, okay, we need to make a certain concession to Catholics in the country because they represent whatever percentage of the population.
Yeah.
And atheists, fuck it, they're 0.002. Well, actually, no, they're whatever, they're a much higher percentage.
Right.
But people had been not putting themselves down as atheists because they kind of went, I guess I'm Christian. Well, do you believe in God? No, I don't.
I think a lot of it has to do with relationships. I mean, you're married to a woman who's very, very devout, and you don't really want to get into that argument, and you don't mind that she's devout.
Or you're attached to a cultural identity.
Or you're just confused.
Oh, yeah, cultural identity.
Yeah. Or you're just confused. Like when I was not really going to church, not really a believer, but people would say, you check off what religion you are, and I'd go Christian because I was like, I guess I'm a Christian. I don't know.
So
I don't.
See, that's part of that conformity bullshit, and a lot of black people go along with that because it's conformity. You get alienated in African American community for not conforming.
Yeah,
right.
And think about it. If you go get a job, think about what the unemployment rate would be if black people started coming out saying they're atheists.
Oh, right.
Unemployment rate would fucking skyrocket.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be black working for me and atheist. Trust me.
Yeah,
no, it's a problem.
Yeah. I've heard about like a lot of atheists in America. They can't tell their colleagues and stuff like that. They've got to. Yeah.
I just had my show cancelled.
So you're
yeah.
not.
We should talk about this.
So I'm playing in Tacoma this Sunday, and I was booked. I'm going to be on Ask an Atheist, which is another podcast based in Tacoma, and we were going to have a show afterwards at a local cafe called Anthem, and it's been booked for a month, and they just cancelled. On Monday because they wrote in the email that my show and their show don't align with their beliefs.
Oh, they're not a big fan of facts. Okay, so
Pretty much.
no facts allowed in this.
Wait a minute.
This cafe.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you look at their,
you do other podcasts?
Yeah, but this one's
I am
the
a
best.
podcast slut.
You're cheating on us.
She's a pod slut. You're a pod slut.
You're my favorite.
So they actually admitted that that was the problem.
Yep.
Oh, that's awful. Were you the only one on the bill?
Yes. I mean, it was still like you
Let
kind
me
of
ask you
representing
this:
Ask an Atheist.
Just
if you were,
coincidentally,
let's
she's an
say
atheist.
you're a Jewish, I don't know, you a comedian or a musician or both. I'm guessing both.
She is Jewish,
right? Okay. Well,
I don't identify as Jewish anymore, but I was brought up in a Jewish family.
Let's say you were going to do a Jewish show in a cafe, and you cancelled it and said, sorry, no, it's the Aryan Brotherhood. I've got an interest here. We don't want you playing here.
Well,
I mean, surely you could then have some kind of cause for a.
They have cause here.
Yeah.
So
cause here.
you mean you could not sue them for that?
They're
They
thinking
can.
about taking it because it's against the First Amendment, and it's not. I mean, a private institution, they have the right to refuse.
It is a private, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then they can do it.
No.
Yeah,
It's
see,
different.
That's that Rand Paul.
The
argument.
reason they have that we could sue if we wanted to is because they could have said no initially, but they didn't. We presented our show, and they knew exactly who we are, and they made a contract with us, an agreement, and they broke it because of our beliefs.
Because they prayed.
No,
I'd
I
imagine
think
because someone
contacted them
complained.
from a Bible college, because when they emailed the Ask an Atheist guys, they CC'd the local Bible college.
see.
But so it is illegal because they are literally breaching the contract because we have a different ideology to them, and that's
while
not legal.
suppressing free thought.
We have more than 20,000 unique downloads for our podcast month.
How many?
More than 20,000. Now, that unique individuals, okay? So
You don't know if they're that unique.
I don't know how unique they are.
I mean, I've met some of them, and some of them are pretty unique.
No, I know. Well, no, you misunderstand. I'm only counting the unique ones.
Okay.
Yeah, we have another 733,000 very average downloads. So that said, if you're listening to the show, let's just give some details, okay? This is in Tacoma.
Tacoma, Washington.
Yeah. And what's the name of the venue?
Wisconsin. Rather?
What's the name of the venue?
The venue is Anthem Cafe.
Anthem Cafe. So if you're a listener and you aren't happy with the fact that the Anthem Cafe would cancel a show based on their religious views, not
Smear
being
shit
in
on their walls and
alignment
burn them.
No,
no, sorry, no, not that. Not that.
No. Take back the burn. I think you should call them or email them. I think you should contact them. I think that they should feel the weight of atheists who don't agree with this kind of behavior.
I think there should be an atheist flash mob.
That's a good idea.
And they should dance.
If you're in shit on
Atheist.
the walls. Did you not hear
shit on
him?
the wall.
But no fire.
But yeah, to be fair, they're like as Shelley said, they are. If we're talking First Amendment rights, you have no First Amendment right as an individual to express your views in someone else's place.
In their place of business.
Yeah, like you could. Like, for example, if a Christian burst into the middle of this radio show and started shouting, you could kick them out, and you'd be perfectly within your rights to.
Oh hell, I'd just sit them down and start talking.
But you could.
Right, we could tell them to get the fuck out.
You could, but as Shelley said, what they did was accepted the booking in the first place and then cancelled. So it is a breach of contract case rather than a freedom of speech case.
That's correct. That's correct.
But what they should do, really, instead of phoning up and contacting this venue to complain, what they should all do instead is contact the venue and say, I'd like to book 6 tickets for this show, and get everyone to sort of book it out numerous amount of times just to make them feel out, because money talks. Money often.
You're absolutely right, Cole. It would be a far more effective protest to just keep phoning up and ask her to see Shelley's show and then be disappointed.
Yeah, and then if that doesn't work, then
we'd like to book 5 for dinner, please.
Yeah, and then smear shit on the walls.
Okay. I think that's a brilliant idea.
Another local venue, Doyle's.
Yeah.
They decided to take on the show at the last minute, so
that's great.
we're having it there now.
So everything's fine.
Yeah, it's great.
Stop your belly aching.
But still contact the cafe.
Yeah, I know,
Still
right?
contact the cafe, and just at the end of the booking, or when they're saying, I'm sorry, they're not here, cut them off. Oh, sorry, I've just seen they're playing at Doyle's instead. Okay, we'll take our business there.
There you go.
Thanks.
Nicely
then-
done, Cole. Nicely done.
So you're
I was
calling.
I was working in Seattle when the club owner fired me on Saturday after doing his other club up higher north. I can't remember where his other club is, but once I got to Seattle, he called me. I think maybe it was it was Saturday morning, and he said, "We can't put you on the show anymore because I used the Igor word in my show." And I'll explain that after the break.
What?
So, all right, you're listening to Ardent Atheist on the GoCast Network, ardentatheist.com, and available at the iTunes Store. More after this intolerable intermission. And now, a special announcement.
This is a big super shout out to a few of our listeners. Susie, Paula, Dar Emery, hi Mom, Donovan Baker, Kyle Delaney, Derek X, Justin Harnish, holy crap, it's Dan, Jason Olney, Mick Justice, Revels in Reason, Mark Nowitzki, George, Todd S., Cameron Winters, and Joseph Swam. These were the screen names of the people chatting on the award-winning Wall of Reason last week. Keep posting, everybody. We love seeing all your delicious content.
I like how you kind of called them people with
They're
this weird disdainful. Was that meant to be disdainful?
No.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
No.
We're gonna run a video
They
ad.
couldn't get any traction with rap artists, so now they're going after comics.
A documentary about how boundaries are defined in comedy.
There's always something that is the great taboo.
You talk about race,
pedophilia, or religion.
Suicide, also hilarious.
Can rape be funny? No. Can making a joke about rape be funny? Yes, if it's funny.
And what happens when a comedian goes too far?
If you can't make fun of any tragedy, there's no comedy left in the world.
That's not funny. Please support the movie at Kickstarter.com.
So I'm not for that movie because I'm in it. I'm for that movie because for the first time since I have been part of the Aristocrats, I've seen someone come along and really put the love and care into telling the comedic story. That movie is about what we should and shouldn't say on stage, which is a very hot button thing that's going on right now. So please go to Kickstarter.com, look for That's Not Funny, and if you can afford it, donate to the project. They are filming some really, really significant comics right now and talking about what we should and shouldn't say in comedy. And now back to Ardent Atheist Nonsense You Can Believe In. We're talking with Steve Hill, Cole Parker, Shelley Segal, and Matt Karshine.
Thank you. Finally.
Finally. We're only up to 7 at this point, actually.
Will we make it?
Well, we have another half hour, so it's going to go into the premium. But I definitely want to talk about the 7th one. And at the end of this segment, we're going to have Shelley play a song for us. You play us out.
Yeah.
And then at the fully end of the show for the
play
premium.
us out? What does that mean?
What the hell? and for the premium portion of the show, we're going to have we're going to actually play Saved, which is the video that you have. You can see that online if you're not missing out that much actually. So you're not. So number 7 is.
Can I just point out you that you're not missing out on much because you can also watch it online. You're not missing.
That's what I meant.
That's what you
That's
meant.
how I meant it.
Just
thanks.
Fuck that video.
My own. I think it's a fantastic video.
Get out, Shelley. Just leave.
So number 7. So you're saying everything happened by chance. We've all heard this one. You know what I mean? When believers are trying to basically debunk in order to support their claims, debunk evolution, the evolutionary process. That's the one that they'll throw up. Here it is.
So you're saying that everything happened by chance? No. Well, chance certainly plays a part in the evolutionary cycle, but natural selection promotes non-random change of specific desirable traits over time. Living organisms didn't just pop into existence by chance, but they did evolve over millions, sometimes billions of years.
So,
well, that's easily refutable, isn't it?
Well, the first thing that hits me is it's not all chance. I mean, that's I think the word that they're kind of hanging it on.
Because God's hands is involved.
No. What the hell are you talking about?
This is an atheist show.
It's really confusing for a lot of people. How would you refute it, Cole?
Well, I'd evidence. I'd show them evidence of millions of different species. Let's say, for example, let's take a dolphin. Now,
where are we taking her?
Right. So there's I think there's about 25-30 different species of dolphin.
Mm-hmm.
Could be more. And different parts of the world, depending on the environment, they've evolved differently. And the most notable one was the Yangtze River dolphin, which recently went extinct actually because it had a very distinguishable long snout with kind of like saber teeth coming out of it, and that was to hunt a certain type of prey which only lived in that part of the world.
Right.
And you can see different versions of crocodilians who've developed insects, mammals, depending on their environment. Moles that are underground. There's versions of moles which are above ground, which have eyesight, but underground they don't need eyesight. They can't use it, and so their other senses develop. It's so refutable. There's so much evidence out there, and has been for 150 odd years that's ridiculous.
You're saying it all just happened by chance.
Sorry. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Yes, I'm saying it all happened.
But it's like this. It's kind of an emotional argument. It's like you're saying that all of this is an accident. It's more. I think it's more like that.
That is it. And my brother. Every time I find myself arguing with my brother Chris, who is the laziest believer I know. He's not a Christian. Most Christians I know aren't Christians in the biblical sense at all. You know, everyone's a pick and choose and jack off. But my brother, he goes, "Where's your hope?" That's the thing he always says to me, and that's what this is about. I think it's about
I believe in people.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know what it comes to? It comes to Cole's interpretation of what Americans as atheists seem to be. You know what I mean? We're not nihilists. We are. I don't find myself being that different when I talk to Brits, when I talk to Aussies, when I talk to Scots, when I talk to people from around the world who call themselves atheists.
Yeah.
We seem to be exactly the same kind of people for the most part.
But I mean, for example, you're an atheist, but you believe in collective consciousness. You've been to concerts before. You felt goodwill in a huge group of people all there for the same thing. So you can obviously feel fear in a herd as well. If things like, if you're in a gang fight, for example, or if you're like in a football crowd and things.
But that's not supernatural. That's.
No, but that's what I meant. No, but it is in a sense that it's a shared It's a shared feeling of it's a spiritual feeling which is crossing a stratosphere that we can't see. But
now this is where Cole just kind of careens off the rails a little bit.
Really?
I think so. We had this talk last time too.
Maybe I'm not. I told you last time, Cole.
No. I didn't mean it like that.
Because supernatural means that it has some other origin, that it's not a naturally occurring thing, and it's not happened through,
Yeah, but everything was supernatural
evolution.
back then. I mean, they used,
Back when?
Well, during the evolution.
Last week. Were you not drinking with Cole? Sorry, go ahead. Go on. I'm sorry.
During the evolution of religion itself, so things they couldn't explain, they just say it was God. So, like lightning, for example, it was God. If it was raining too hard, it was a punishment.
So then, shouldn't we not use that term now, because we know why we have these shared experiences, and it's because of the human experience.
Yes.
The human biology and the human genome.
Okay, yeah.
So
yeah.
That's my problem
So
with the
basically,
God
what's
particle.
happening is we're agreeing from different points. Then, so yeah, we come to the same thing from a different angle.
And I understand why I use the word spiritual, because what it connotates. I prefer to use the word transcendent, because I know what spirituality means to other people.
Right.
But I mean, that's, you can argue about
I've got an Australian
semantics of
teaching
word,
English.
but it's more.
I'll have a taxi, please.
It goes full around, man. That's how it works.
But it's supernatural. I mean, we can argue spiritual.
No, basically, we're just quibbling over the definition. But
supernatural is a different thing, because it's
we're
saying
not.
that it's not earthly, it's not worldly. It has
And in which
other
case,
origin.
it's all bollocks, then, isn't it? There you go.
Listen, what she's saying, Cole, is she's saying, I think it's really important. I'll just say it. I think it's really important we not adopt the wrong words and language when we're talking about, like she said, transcendent experience.
Okay.
And the reason is we are inundated, we are completely saturated by ideas and ideals that support the existence of a God, a heaven, and a hell. It's all over us. It's on our money. It's in our language. It's in our behaviors. It's everywhere. And the only way we're ever really going to strip our society free from these chains is to pay attention at the fucking molecular level of this fucking virus. That's what has to happen. We have to look all the way down to the very basis of where it gets a hold of us. And this whole, there's got to be a higher power, or the energy out there, something bigger than me, all that language, that's more germination for the poison that is religion. That is how religion starts. And new religions start every fucking couple of years around the world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
that's
I know it sounds like I'm preaching. But,
no, not really.
Amen.
But that's how I feel about it. And so when I have so many friends who come in here, I call it pothead spiritualism, It's the people who talk about how, man, don't you just look at a sunset and you just feel like how can that just be the thing that happened from chance, man? You know what I mean? And it's not it is transcendent to me to look. It's transcendent to me to look at the data from the CERN, what's it called, the collider.
Hadron Collider.
When I look at that and I have someone explain it to me in a video, I literally tear up at the importance of what I'm learning, of what I'm seeing in the studies that they're doing.
You're not just a wuss.
I'm not. No.
Not just sensitive.
It might be both. It could be both. But I'm moved by that, and it's not spiritualism. It's not spiritual. It's something I understand very deeply, and that is that the things that we as human beings are capable of.
But what you're fighting in setting up an atheist movement is 5,000 years of brainwashing or more.
No question.
That's exactly what I mean, and not just that. Also persecution of ideas. Paganism was driven out of the UK by Christianity, and paganism was just, you can call it religion, but it was a very, very loose version of Buddhism. It was just like looking after the world and the planet, and the planet's a better place because of it. It wasn't,
Right. Mm-hmm. All right. We're going to move on because we want to end the show with a song from Shelley. So, and we're running a little over. We apologize to everybody for that, but that's what's going to happen. Shelley, what would you like to play for us?
I'm not sure. Maybe I'd play like just a happy, spiritual, transcendent song.
Something
play us out.
Uplifting. Can
Here it is.
Can I start shouting? Or something?
Whatever you want. Shelley Segal, ladies and gentlemen.
So this isn't my song. Am I allowed to play a cover?
I don't care. Play the song.
No. Okay, cool. This is a Phil Oakes song, and it's everything I like about music. It's motivating. It's moving.
Is it all with Christian soldiers?
Yeah. How did you know? It's called When I'm Gone by Phil Oakes. There's no place in this world where I'll belong when I'm gone. And I won't know the right from the wrong when I'm gone. You won't find me singing all this song when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. And I won't breathe the bracing air when I'm gone. I can't even worry about my cares when I'm gone. And I can't be asked to do my share when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. I won't feel the flowing of the time when I'm gone. Oh, the pleasures of love will not be mine when I'm gone. Said my pen won't pour out a lyric line when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. I won't be running from the rain when I'm gone. I can't even suffer from my pain when I'm gone. And I can't say who's to praise and who's to blame when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. I won't feel the golden of the sun when I'm gone. Oh, the evenings and the mornings will be one when I'm gone. And I can't be singing louder than the guns when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. I guess we better do it while we're here. Woo!
All right, Shelley.
Yay.
Wow.
That's it for the free version of episode 111. Another show that went off without a hitch. We miss you, Hitch.
We miss you, Hitch.
I'm your host, Emery.
And I'm Heather Henderson. A huge thank you to our audio engineer, Jansen the Fever. Our theme music courtesy of the sound editor, The Aristocrats, Eric Wilson. And special thanks to our Wall of Reason moderator, Joseph, Kate's apologist, Swam, and our digital publicist and web guru, Cameron, rapes apologist, Winters.
Some characters mentioned in this podcast are completely fictitious. Any resemblance to real persons living or dead is purely wishful thinking. You've been listening to Ardent Atheist. Ardent Atheist is a product of natural selection. Thanks, guys. Keep it rolling. Let me know.